Okay, we're live. The energy is a little low because the market just keeps on dumping. The market just the market just needs to relax. Just needs to chill out just a little bit because it's going a little too crazy. But I had to jump on this live stream real quick. Let's cut the beat, cut the music. Let's just hop right into it. Welcome back to the Crypto Compass. I am your navigator through the crypto world. Welcome back, Compass Cartel. That's what I like to call my fans. Welcome back to another live stream. This one's going to be a quick one. I'll shoot you guys like 30 minutes, give you guys 30 minutes or so. And then, we'll just continue on. But here, I had to jump on live. I had to let you know, I had to drop everything else and let you guys know the current state of the market and exactly what's going on. I'm sure I'm sure all of you actually have seen the news, everything that's going on, looking at price action, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I can't even speak properly. Absolutely ridiculous. That's how crazy we've been going. It's been up and down throughout this bull market, and we had our largest liquidation event in history last month in October, and this month is starting no better. Literally yesterday, prices just tanked, 10% on all major assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, and then the smaller altcoins, you can forget about it, 30, 40% lost. Today, we're recovering a little bit, but it really doesn't make a difference because in the grand scheme of it all, it does look a little bearish. I'm not calling for a bear market or a crazy bloodbath, but I am calling for a healthy pullback that could consolidate and stay sideways for a while. However, we could, again, have some bullish news come out. Trump comes out. He's going to make a statement, I believe, today or tomorrow, and he's going to come out and say, crypto is this, crypto is that, we need this, we got our Bitcoin strategic reserve, blah, 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 so on, so on. Could be big bullish news. However, I'm not banking on that. We've broken very serious support. We're sitting on an even bigger support, a multi-year support on all major assets. And if this breaks, literally free fall. And I'm not trying to doom and gloom and get everyone panicked or going crazy. I'm just here to be realistic and to guide you here through the market. So just remember that. I am a perma bull. I will always be bullish on crypto. But I know when to retreat a little bit and when to kind of feel out the market and understand there's going to be dips. I myself am just going to hodl through this, hold on for dear life. For those of you that don't know what that means, I'm literally just going to hold on through the pain because I know long term, this is literally just a little bump in the road. And long term, if you zoom out, it's up only. And that's the case that it has been for a while. But this bull market has been a little weird. And I just want to pull up some of these charts here and kind of just dive into a little bit just to kind of see what's going on, what the current price action is looking like, and so on. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I'm looking at so we can just dive into the charts. So let's start with Bitcoin, currently sitting at 103,000, a little above 103, dipped down to actually below 100. Bitcoin broke down below 100. This was a number that was held as huge support. And actually, believe it or not, that biggest liquidation event we had in October, 100,000 held. I think we dipped down to like 102, 103, like the level we're at right now, but we did not dip below 100. However, yesterday we did. Yesterday we had this nasty wick down. I think this one's a little lower. We hit 98,000, right? So that's a pretty big deal. That 100,000 psychological barrier. Yeah, we relief bounce right now, but who's to say this is not a dead cat bounce? Meaning that we had a huge dip. We're coming up to kind of test that liquidity that we lost, and then we're going to go right back down. That is very, very possible. If that were the case, I'm going to talk bull and bear cases. Right now, I'm going to focus a little more on the bull. I hate to say it, but a little more on the bear. And I hate to say that because I am long-term bullish, like I said, but I have to play devil's advocate. I have to play both sides because I can't sit here and be like, we're going to go up forever. There is no asset in this world that will go up forever. I cannot stress that enough. So you have to be able to play both sides of the coin. So here I'm going to show you what the bear case would be, and then I'll also show you what the bull case would be. And go ahead and blow that chat up, please. Blow up that comment section. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you like my content. I'm coming out with these live streams. I'm here to literally support you, to be your guide and be your compass. So show me some support as well. I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. But diving into the charts, look at this in a bigger zoomed out time frame, still looking at the 4 hour, but it looks like we literally peaked right here. This right here potentially flipping bull again. I know I'm back between bull and bear, but this could potentially be a double bottom with this here and this. This could be held as support, that 98,000 level. However, if we do lose that again and this kind of dips back down and goes even lower, I do see the mid to low 80,000 range very possible for Bitcoin. But what does that mean for other assets like Ethereum or Chainlink? Well, I hate to say it, but it doesn't look good because that's another 20% dip here on Bitcoin. That could mean another 30 to 40% dip on Ethereum as well as Chainlink. So let's look at Ethereum first. Ethereum is currently sitting at 3,400, right? But it did dip down all the way to 3,000. And if Bitcoin were to come down to the 80K level or in the 80K range, that would mean Ethereum would come down, probably test this liquidity here. At worst case, this down here. So that would mean 2,500 level, possibly worst case if it has just a crazy wick, it could go down to the 2,000 level. And I can say the same exact thing for Chainlink. Chainlink has literally gotten beaten up. Literally, we had this huge wick down to 8, which was the big liquidation event, the crazy wick that got filled up, and we literally shot back up to $20. And then ever since then, we've been in this channel to where we've been, sitting at going up to 19 down here. We're holding that $16 support. We officially broke under it, and now we're kind of testing it to come back up. So we could literally test this 1638 level. If we reject that, I do feel like Chainlink could maybe get to under $12, maybe even $10. And worst case, we have a crazy downside. I could see it being single digits again. It could very possibly be single digits. And I know that may sound scary to a lot of you. Like, what's going on? Why is the market so bearish right now? There's a lot of factors, right? The stock market has been overperforming. Even the stock market cooled off. The guy from The Big Short, Michael Burry, he literally came out and said, I'm shorting Palantir and NVIDIA, the big tech stocks, and I'm just going to short them all the way down. And that's like majority of his portfolio right now. And he probably made bank yesterday when both of those assets fell. Like, a lot is going on. There's a lot of noise. But then again, that's noise. So I do want to stick on that topic. That's noise. Too many people are bearish on the timeline. Everyone's calling for lower prices. Everyone's saying this and that. That could be right now could be a contrarian move in the sense that we may just shoot up. That's my bullish aspect. The fear and greed index is literally sitting at really high fear. For those of you who don't know what that is, I can actually pull that up. So fear and greed index basically tells you what the sentiment is inside of crypto. So if it's at more fear, then that's when you want to buy. If it's more greed, that's usually when you want to sell. So looking at this index coming here from Coin Market Cap, this is going to show you what the index is at. So currently we're sitting at $20, or not $20, sorry. Let's keep thinking price. 20 is the metric, right? So the highest is 100, goes down to 0. The closer to 0 it is, the more fear. So we're sitting in that fear level. If we break below this, we're getting to extreme fear. That's the red level. Right now we're in this orange level. And historically, looks like, yesterday we were at 27, last week 39, last month 58. So clearly the fear has been increasing. So that's just telling me, okay, maybe all this fear is building up, all this FUD is building up, Trump coming around with tariffs, people talking about this and that, maybe even some hacks going on, which happens all the time in crypto, to be honest. A lot of this could be just a big recipe for a huge bullish move back to the upside, taking us to all-time highs on major assets. Bitcoin, starting with Bitcoin and then trickling down to Ethereum, Chainlink, and all these other alts. Very possible. But if we're just looking at the chart here, so this is the top, this is the extreme greed. This is basically a time series showing you the change in the fear and greed over time. Right now, we're sitting at those lows, right? But then again, we could test, this red level. So meaning we could go a little bit lower is what I'm trying to say. So this is a good index to get something good to understand, but we could go a little bit lower. But then again, this could be a great DCA opportunity long term if you're thinking 5-10 years down the line. Bitcoin's going to 1 million, Ethereum's going to 100,000, Chainlink's going to 1,000, right? These are your huge bull targets in the next 5 to 10 years. Why wouldn't you buy Bitcoin at 100,000? Why wouldn't you buy Ethereum at 3,400? Why wouldn't you buy Chainlink at $15, right? These are prices that are short term. And if you're super convicted and you're super bullish on an asset, forget price action. It could go as low as $1, right? If I'm Chainlink, for example, let's just say it drops down to single digits, maybe not $1, but like $7, $8, right? And I am a Link Marine, so I'm not going to say if I am a Link Marine, I would be going out there and being like, okay, how can I buy more? That would be my first thought process. Not, oh my God, I need to run to my phone, to my computer, log on to my hard wallet or wallet exchange, whatever you use, and I need to sell this asset fast. That is not my first thought. I want to panic buy, not panic sell, because there is a fire sale going on. And that's exactly what happened during this liquidation event. So understand your opportunities and seize it is my moral of the story, is what I'm trying to get out there, right? Right now, we're getting an opportunity in the market. This is not an opportunity you may get often. And let's just say this is literally the consolidation down period before the next big move up. You won't get these prices again. These are gifts. These prices are a gift. So do not let it go. Do not overlook it. Do not panic. Do not fear. When there is blood in the streets, that's when you want to be buying, right? That's a very famous saying. I'm not sure who said it, but very famous investor saying that when everyone is panicking and there is blood in the streets, meaning a lot of fear, that's when you want to start buying and become a believer and literally buy into the strong projects that you believe in. So don't forget that. That's a very important concept to understand and to grasp. But looking at something other than technical analysis, let's kind of jump to the fundamentals. And just looking at some tweets here, Trump actually came out and he was saying very bullish stuff about crypto as he normally does. But maybe this is slightly different. Let's kind of look and see what's
We're
going on here. Turn this up.
Making the United States the Bitcoin superpower, the crypto capital of the world, and the undisputed leader in artificial intelligence. We're leading China by a lot. We're making the United States.
So coming out saying, as normal, it sounds like, I mean, I'm not talking politics, nothing like that, but it sounds like a lot more blabbering, a lot more going on. Oh, we're going to be the crypto capital. We're leading AI. We're better than China. Like, this sounds like noise to me, but I will say does make me a little bullish, does make me happy, but these are just words. I want to see action. I want to see a Bitcoin strategic reserve. I want to see Bitcoin adopted and used as a currency somehow. And I want to see the same with Chainlink. I know Chainlink's been partnering up a lot. As a matter of fact, let me show you some of that. Chainlink is literally at SmartCon right now. It's a big event that goes on, right, with a lot of these banks and institutions, and Chainlink was invited to it. And actually, we have the creator, Sergey, of Chainlink on there. Let's actually take a look at
weird,
that.
bad stuff that was perpetuated. And so there's not enough people that have gained a full
Sergey, by the way,
understanding
he's
of the
founder,
benefits of
creator,
DeFi, or
Chainlink.
what DeFi is or DeFi isn't, or why blockchains will benefit the financial system, or why the largest US institutions
This is
are
live,
implementing
by
this
the way.
technology.
2.9
And so
million
I completely
viewers in
agree
here
with you.
right
And
now.
it's fascinating for me to see how dispelling these ideas, for whoever it might be, it's not the good news is it's not the regulators. So the regulators.
I'll stop that for now because I don't want to get too into that. But let me actually just drop this in the chat for you, so you guys know. Yeah, I see Fahad here in the chat. Thank you for blowing up that chat. Yes, I will be your guide. Don't you worry. I will be your guide. I'll be your Warren Buffett. Definitely. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, but coming back on here, just a few other news, right? Coming back into Chainlink, right? Literally every day I wake up and I check X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I come in and I check it. I literally see something new about Chainlink, a new partnership, new something, right? So look at this, like Denari taps Chainlink to tokenize S&P's DGI's upcoming crypto market index. So there's going to be the S&P, which is an index on the stock market, is literally going to make a new index, which is strictly crypto assets. And they're going to use Chainlink to bring that data to them, right? Off-chain data, on-chain, bring that data to them so they get real-time data to track the price of assets, right? That's huge. That's something you don't normally see. And these are the partnerships we're starting to see daily, right? We see these partnerships come in. Chainlink's price action may not reflect it, but we're getting government involvement, SWIFT involvement, bank involvement, institutions, a lot of things coming down the pipeline, which just makes me more and more bullish on it, although price action may not reflect. But that just goes back to the concept of forget the price action, hold your convictions and hold them strong, and literally buy on dips, get that fire sale, because in the next few months, next few years, maybe even a decade from now, you're going to be looking back and kind of just laughing at this price and being like, okay, this is cool. I saw this already, but now we're propelling, heading into the future, and we're at a much higher valuation. And this asset, let's just talk Chainlink in this case, is used everywhere. It has a whole, metric to it, a whole environment to it, and the government is using it actively. Stocks are using it. Big companies are using it, right? That's the direction that we're headed. And it's been like this for a while. The price action just hasn't reflected it. And again, that's just my opinion, not financial advice at all. You and only you are the sole person who's going to invest or trade or whatever into your own assets. I'm just here to guide you. And if you want more guidance, you can head into the link in the description below. I will be there. You can sign up and I can sit with you one-on-one and we can go through all of these concepts. And I can even do things like kind of tell you my side of things, how I view things. I won't give financial advice, but I'll help you to the best of my ability. And that's kind of just the goal. That's what I want to do. I just want to help other people. I want to educate. This is a crypto education platform, and I want to be able to provide that, navigation, that compass for you. So let's not forget that. But coming back on here, so if I'm kind of just, scrolling on X and kind of going through here, looking at the overall sentiment, I see some people that are bullish, some people that are bearish. It's kind of just mixed right now, right? But if I kind of go through here, let's just see. So there's mixed stuff. There's stuff about the stock market too, which stock market has been up and down as well, and currently down a little bit, which is kind of why everything is a little down. So I think everyone's just a little too bearish right now. I know I keep repeating that, keep saying that, but it's just the fact. Everyone's getting a little too bearish, and it's causing everyone in panic. Everyone's in a state of fear. And that doesn't really help anything, right? In my opinion, I feel like that just creates more panic, and that creates people who are just not going to continue to be bullish on this market. Maybe it will cause people to panic sell and come out of the market and then FOMO back in when it comes back up. But you want to be the person that buys low and sells high, right? That's always the goal. But coming here, let's just kind of scroll together and let's just kind of see what we're looking at here. I just literally just did a crypto search here on X. So let's just kind of see what we're looking at. So I showed you this Trump video. There's some memes, obviously, people waiting for alt season, right? Because alt season never happened. This always comes up, so people saying November is a bullish month. However, October was also supposed to be a bullish month. And, we already finished down in October. And historically, when we finish down in October, we tend to have a red November too. So, who's to say what's going to happen? And these are Bitcoin specific returns. But, again, scared money don't make money. If you want to take a chance, take a risk, go for it. But just understand the risk and always dollar cost average. So when we dip down, buy more, dip down, buy more, just keep doing that process. And then, we already saw Trump. He's just saying a lot of bullish stuff about crypto. But again, it seems like all talk to me. I need to see some action. I need to see something. But it looks like here, Trump even said he signed historic executive orders to end federal government's war on crypto. So that was probably the war that was going on that he claims during Biden's administration. He's kind of ending all of that to kind of open the floodgates, get people, institutions, companies more involved in crypto. And him himself, he's probably building his own portfolio. I mean, we know he is. So that's probably something. So yeah, and then look here. Okay, here's another news. So this is how I kind of find my news, just so you guys know. I kind of just go on X, just kind of skimming through, looking at everything, just trying to understand and see what the sentiment is, and maybe I get some news, and then that news kind of triggers eventual, technical analysis action that I want to go look at a chart and maybe buy a certain dip depending on the consensus and the psychology of traders currently. So 7 trillion, Charles Schwab CEO says the company plans to launch a crypto trading in the first half of 2026. So again, another bullish thing. Nothing too bullish that I get excited about, because to be honest, I see this kind of news all the time because I'm kind of looking at all this. But it just seems like a lot of people just posting memes. Some people are posting some charts. It's kind of more of the same, right? This big thing on Trump going on. But yeah, this is kind of funny meme too. But yeah, nothing too crazy going on. If I'm being honest, nothing too wild. I take a little water break, but just to let you guys know, I'm probably not gonna stay on live here a little too much longer. I don't have much more to say, but I want to end it with this. Just don't panic. Don't come in here and worry too much about the price action. Yes, it could keep going lower. Yes, you may be down on the short term, but remember, you do not lose until you sell. So if you're panic selling right now, then sure, you have lost. You have lost on your investment, and you probably won't re-enter. If you do re-enter and then we dip lower, that's just going to be more pain and more emotional trading. And that's never something you want to do. Instead, you want to think long term. You want to not worry about this price action, and then find a way, right? Whatever way you can to just buy more on dips if possible. If not, just hold through the storm. That's simple, right? It's dipping. Cool. Next week, it's up 50%. Okay. Why was I panicking last week? It's up now. I feel better, right? This is all emotional trading. You do not want to be emotional. You want to be straight face, no emotions, have a goal in mind, have that conviction, and strike. Literally strike, make your move, and boom. That's all it needs to be. You don't need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to do anything else of that sort. So I'll leave you on that knowledge. Let's hope that we break back bullish. Again, we could dip a little more, but this is a great price to kind of average in. I wouldn't necessarily, advise to doing leverage, but just buy some spot on whatever you want. Not financial advice, but just what I see and what I think the market is based on my experience. But on that note, I'll see you guys later. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, support me. And if you want to dive into some more one-on-one time, follow the link in the description below and I can continue to guide you. And please, please be active on these live streams. I'm doing this weekly. I'm trying to bring it up to a daily point. So support me in my journey and I will be here every step of the way, no matter if we're bearish or bullish, I'm still here in the market. So until next time, I'll see you later. Can't speak. I'll see you later, Compass Cartel. Crypto Compass out. Peace, guys.